people who are hating, negative, who are gossipy, who will shit on other people, their locus of control is external, meaning they feel like, oh man, my life is this way because external things happened. People that are actually builders of other people, their locus of control is internal. Like, I'm in charge of what happens to me. The outcome is in my hands.
Hey, what's up? I'm Steve Eckert. This is Bedros, Keuilian. Welcome to another episode of the MDK, the Modern Day Night Project Show. And this is a show for men in search of meaningful transformations in their family, fitness, finances, and faith. And this is so they can become even better husbands, fathers, leaders, and men. And today we're going to talk about a very, very serious topic, one that I actually enjoy talking about. It's about the fucking haters out there, the haters, and why does the project get so much hate on the internet? It's like, it's a cool thing to do. There's, I don't know if you've seen them. There's entire YouTube channels and people that have dedicated their lives spending like time editing videos just to hate on the project, to hate on the instructors of the project, anything it's about. There's so much to dive deep into. What have you come across lately for the hate on the project?
So just recently, where you talked about there's people that have dedicated like YouTube shows to hating on the project. One of my favorite ones was this tubby guy with long hair sitting on his mother's living room floor with a microphone, and he's given every fact incorrectly. He's like, there they are in the back of Walmart parking lot, like putting men through this for $18,000 for 75 hours, and they get nothing else out of it. And it's like, no, bro, they get 12 months of coaching and mastermind and a brotherhood out of it, and a lifelong brotherhood beyond that. But what I've realized is the louder the barks, these are the men who fall into that 80% category we talked about on the previous show, where we said 20%, all men need the project. Like you and I need the project. The reason we do the project is because I think it constantly reminds us of how we have to show up as men in faith, family, fitness, finance, to live a life of fulfillment, congruency, etc. We need to keep doing hard things so that we have a easy life. Otherwise, you keep choosing easy, you're going to have a hard life. And when I say to have an easy life, I don't ever want the easy life. I like having a hard life, a life where I can really showcase my strength, the ability to have honor and loyalty with friends, and mastery of skills, etc. But only 20% of all men even entertain the idea of doing the project. And I think the reason for that is the other category of men have found such inertia, such momentum in living in mediocrity, in living a soft life, a comfortable life, a life that's convenient, a life that allows them to order their food off a, Uber Eats or Grubhub. And
they get upset when it's like 3 minutes late and start bitching and doing their 2 stars on Uber Eats and all this other shit.
The louder they talk about the project, the haters, those are the ones who need it most. And when we showcase the videos on our social media platforms and they have such violent hate towards it, it's because it's a reflection of them. They're like, fuck, I know I should be doing that. I know I need that. I don't have a brotherhood. I don't have a sense of purpose anymore. I feel like I'm just drifting through life, as Napoleon Hill says in his book. Yet, fuck these guys. I don't want to do it because it also looks uncomfortable and inconvenient. And it is, the project absolutely is uncomfortable and inconvenient. And so to me, the haters are the ones that I feel the most amount of compassion for. And Leighton and I were talking about it the other day. I love trolling the haters, and I noticed you do too, to the point where I'll slide into their DMs. Like, I'm the guy sliding into their DMs.
I'm not that sick, but yeah.
Oh, I go level 10. And with kindness and compassion, I'm like, hey, bro, and I said in the comments on the post, but I also slide into their DMs. I'm like, because I have a cut and paste from my notes to there. I'm like, listen, man, why don't you've got the project all wrong. Why don't you come and do the project? It'll be free for you. When you graduate the 75-hour experience, you not only are part of this brotherhood and this 12 months of coaching and mastermind to be able to make more money, have more meaning, but I'm going to donate $18,000 to your favorite charity. So 1, it costs you nothing. 2, when you graduate, I'm donating $18,000, the cost of the project, to your favorite charity, church, whatever. And 3, now you get this incredible amount of coaching from dudes who are literally conditioned to succeed at life. I hear nothing from them. Nothing. And I've sent probably about 40 or 50 of these, both in posts
block you after
and
that,
DMs.
no response.
Yeah. So when you see those haters chime up, what do you feel or sense?
They think that they're like offending you or triggering you. To me, it's halfway comical and halfway fucking sad. Like thinking about them. These are the dudes that I guarantee are miserable in their life. They're not doing anything. They're just talking shit about the people who are doing because they're doing shit. They'll say, why don't you just join the military? Well, because every motherfucker doesn't want to or need to go join the military for 4 years and go off to war and whatever else. It has nothing to do with the military. It has to do with a whole different realm than the military. It has nothing to do with it.
And actually, you can speak on this because you were in the Marine Corps. You also are the lead instructor at the project. How similar is the military and what we do, or to what we do at the project for those 75
Well, in the
hours?
military, first of all, if you just take any 3-day period, the project is absolutely harder than any 3-day in military boot camp. Just if you take 3 for 3. But in the military, you know, you're on a contract. You're there for 4 years. Your boot camp is lasting 13 weeks. It's not just 3 days. So it's a whole different realm. You know, there's a possibility of you going off to war. There's all these other things going on that are variables into it. Has nothing to do with the military. These guys have no desire or need to go into the military, especially at certain different. They're all in different points of their life. It has nothing to do with the military. They just want to have something to say to talk shit about it. Or then they'll say, just go to the gym and lift weights or join a jiu-jitsu class. Like, that's going to do it. But these are the same dudes. I guarantee that the sad part is they'll threaten me. They'll tell me to come to their town and say it to their face and all this other stuff. And they'll say my kid's probably gay. My son is gay. And my wife looks like a fat transvestite. I don't know where like, this is the shit that I just got recently. In this last week.
Oh, wow.
After that one where these guys are on the railroad track.
You really went viral with that one.
I had some, it was having fun. I wanted to see if we could do with a video. So that one got like 700,000 views for an Instagram nuts. One, which is big.
And by the way, they take, I mean, what was that, a 29
They say,
second video?
I could pay someone to do that in my backyard. Like, yeah, motherfucker, we're sitting here crawling in the dirt for 75 hours. Nothing else happens, just that. So yeah, you could just do that in the back of a Walmart or the Best Buy, like they say all the time.
And I think the biggest thing is when they take a clip that we post, and those clips we've intentionally put up are polarizing. And if people actually take time to read the caption, because it was a 29-second clip, and these yahoos who watch the 29-second clip but don't read a well thought out caption that you crafted that really explains what's happening, what we're doing, who it's for, how we've saved men from committing suicide, how we've brought marriages back together, how we have helped companies reconnect and grow, because these are people who are entrepreneurs. Some of them are people that own, cops, firefighters, former military dudes come through because they're in the darkest and deepest place in their mindset. And the project gives them a sense of meaning, mission, purpose, and a team again when they didn't have that. But they take these videos that we put up out of context. So we're never going to put clips from Toxic Cognitions, which is like, 3 hours of journaling about the worst thing that ever happened to you: abuse, trauma, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, how it shows up in your life, whether you're gambling your money away, drinking your money away, your marriage is about to fall apart. The one guy who sat, he said at 1 a.m., this last class, 4 weeks ago, he said 1 a.m., he goes, 4 months ago, at 1 a.m., I found myself sitting at the park with the pistol on my lap. And I chose not to end my life and had been considering doing the project. And that night I chose, instead of ending my life, to do the project.
Just join the military.
Right.
Go to jiu-jitsu class.
And he was 51 years old. For one, I don't know anything about the military, but I don't think the military would take him at 51.
Sure you're not taking you at 51.
Right. Number two, nowhere in the military do we talk about the trauma that happened in his life when he was a young boy that led him to age 51 years old, sitting at a park at 1 in the morning, thinking about taking his life. Like, the work we do there is unseen, and we don't publish that intentionally because we don't want to share other people's like most private stuff. So instead we share the stuff crawling through the pit, on the railroad tracks, hiking, or when you or Will or Ray are getting up someone's ass. And
some little kid guy that weighs like 135 pounds, they called me, oh, that skinny dude will never fucking talk to me like that or push me like that. Like, first of all, I am pretty fucking skinny, but this dude was like a skinny little shit talking shit. It's fucking hysterical. But I guarantee those men that are doing this, first of all, either they're not married and don't have kids because of the way they are. Can you imagine yourself? You're responding to these people on your post, which is also boosting your algorithm, so that's all part of the game, but you're responding to people on it's your business, you're working on it, so you spending some time on it, it makes sense to. Can you imagine you just going on your own in your free time and randomly putting a message out there, talking shit about someone's kids, or even just stupid comments on people's random stuff of people you don't know about something you know,
and then coming
about.
back and re-engaging.
Then they stalk all your old shit. Then I'll see the same name pop up on like videos I have from like 2 years ago, and they're commenting on that shit. The same name just keeps popping up. Can you imagine being a grown man doing that, and then they wonder why their wives fucking hate them, or their kids are fucking hate them, or whatever, or why they never got married in the first place? I guarantee it's the same dude who sits there and waits for his wife to leave the fucking house and peeks out the blinds, and the second she's fucking gone, he goes on his favorite OnlyFans fucking thing or on Pornhub and starts fucking beating his little wiener all by himself because it's just they're at that such a level of patheticness. But they'll go talk shit about someone. Oh, why don't you go join the military? Oh, this is bullshit. What's the purpose of this? They're so fucked up and delusional. It's half funny, like we can laugh about, but then when you really think about it, like that's some kid's father, like, and that's doing this shit. That's fucking half sad because now he's creating a whole nother generation of little fucking weasels that are just on the internet harassing other men. Like these are grown men. These are 30, 40, 50-year-olds. I can't imagine spending my free time doing, like, how the fuck do you have time doing that and editing these? And they send me pictures of myself eating a big old fucking purple dildo or something like that. Like, how do you have time to do that shit? It's very funny, but it's sadder than
how did
it's
that picture get
funny.
out there in the first place? Like I thought
it wasn't Photoshop. They found an original.
They found the original. By the way, those of you who don't have any sense of humor, we are actually joking about the purple dildo. We'd never made it out. But in all seriousness, man, it does break my heart when I see these dudes leaving comments like that, because I realize, like, hurt people hurt people. Like, that's the bottom line. And these are hurt dudes that know they need to belong there, probably didn't have a formidable man in their life, maybe a father or grandfather to guide them. Maybe they're bitter about their marriage, their relationship, how their wife won't even let them see their kids anymore. And they're like, fuck, you guys are talking about family and faith and confidence and resiliency and finances and fulfillment. Fuck you guys. I feel like I've been scolded by the world. And there's a lesson in it to these haters. Their locus of control, all haters, and there's studies that show it, people who are hating, negative, who are gossipy, who will shit on other people, their locus of control is external, meaning they feel like, oh man, my life is this way because external things happened. People who are not haters, like I will always like try and build someone up. Hey, good for you. I noticed your following is growing. I noticed your business is thriving. I noticed you brought on 5 more employees. I'm proud of you. People that are actually builders of other people, their locus of control is internal. Like, I'm in charge of what happens to me. The outcome is in my hands, not in Biden's hands, not in Trump's hands, not in Israel's hands, not in fucking Ukraine's hands. And so when I see the haters do that, like, I see the depth of fucking issues that they have in their life. Unfortunately, they're so underdeveloped. They're still living as human animals, where all they're doing is literally lashing out like a coyote whose leg is stuck in a bear trap. And you're like, bro, I'm actually trying to help you by posting this thing. If you actually read the comment or the caption, you would see that this is going to benefit you. But it's easier for them to lash out like a hurt coyote when you're trying to help that coyote free its leg. In terms of the content that we put, do you feel we put content out there intentionally trying to attract haters? Because that's one thing I hear often is like, well, if that's not what the project is about, then why don't you guys show more of what it's about?
I think it's because is it a little bit of marketing? Sure, sometimes it is, but it's also real footage of what we're doing. But it's also to weed out you see hater, or all the comments, hater, 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 hater. For every 9, there'll be the 1 or the 2. Where do I sign up? This is awesome. This is exactly what I need. Yeah. I get it, what you're doing here. These other tools up here don't get it, but I get it. Who do I talk to? And then that's how we find those that need to get into those deeper sessions that we have, because they know there's a certain percent that know that, all right, this is why it's going to lead me to do this, break me down so I could fucking unfuck myself and actually start living according to my purpose. These other men just never found their purpose. They never started doing what their creator or God or the universe, whatever, created them to do as fucking men. They've never found it. They're just running around in circles, purposeless and no meaning in their fucking life. And so all they could do is just do the lash out, like that external thing that you said. But it's to weed. Yeah, we have to deal with those in order to find the gold that's in there. You've got to mine through the bullshit to get to the gold, the men that actually are willing to go do the work and put in the work. So yeah, it's intentional, but it's to weed those out.
Yeah, and quite honestly, let's face it, we all know how social media works. And when you put sensationalized stuff on social media, it is going to gain more traction. And so one, you, me, and the other instructors of the project, we don't really give two shits about haters. Like, I've had haters well before the project. When I started Fit Body Bootcamp, so many people in the fitness industry told me that I've sold out, that I'm not helping the one-off gym owners anymore. I'm creating a mega franchise, Fit Body Bootcamp, that's going to take over the world and put them out of business.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare I, right? Like, hater. Like, I've had haters my entire life. I think anyone that attempts to do anything significant in their life, you're going to have haters. And I always have to remind the people in my life who, like, when they see these videos, like my son saw a video on YouTube and he's like, Dad, you know, it's actually someone that I follow. Like, so someone that he watches on YouTube who actually, if you watch the rest of his videos, they're pretty entertaining. And the one he did on us was pretty entertaining, quite honestly. This particular, I forget his name. Otherwise, I'd actually give him a shout out. Like, I don't give a fuck. But it was pretty entertaining. It wasn't accurate, but it was entertaining. The stuff that he was saying and you know, how he would take a clip of what you said or I would say, and then he'd stop. He goes, well, da da da, and he'd give his thoughts on it, right? But I was like, son, I hope like you don't think that it hurts me one bit. Like, it's like, for me, it's like water off a duck's back. And he's like, all right, well, that's good to know. And the reason I say that is because the people I think closest to us feel like maybe we're getting hurt by this or this is bothering us. They don't realize that it is good marketing, and that's all it is for us. It's great marketing. We want to be able to polarize the people who are either going to hate it, hate us, not do the project, because the right person seeing dudes hiking, doing the ice bath, getting yelled at, being broken down to be built back up, they're going to be like, yes, that's for me.
Exactly what I fucking need in my life. And all the times that you're getting the hated on, whether it's Fit Body Bootcamp, any stage in your career, different things. Did your kids not show up to the dinner table because of these haters on the internet?
Never.
Did they fucking hate? Did your kids hate you? Did you spend less time with your kids because of these haters? No. It affects you fucking zero. If anything, it gives you and your son, like my kids, I told they were away out of the country, and I told them about because this railroad one was while they were away, so they didn't see a lot of them. Tyson was pissed at. We were lifting, and I was telling him about some of the comments. He's like, "Did you save them? Did you screenshot them? Why didn't you send them to me?" He's like, "You got to show them to me. I hope you didn't delete them already and block these motherfuckers because he wants to see it. It's like our thing. Yeah. We do a podcast together, just screwing around, me and the two kids. We have a section in there. They named it. It said it came from the nosebleeds, they say. And we go and we pull up some haters' comments and we just talk about them and laugh about them.
I like that.
It doesn't affect us at all. If anything, it gives us more content to do. It gives us the algorithms. Yeah. It lets us have some fun. It lets me go and show this shit to my kids and have a good laugh. And then it also, those people adding to the fucking pot brings out those gold mines that need the fucking help, the ones that actually need the help. So they're helping us without knowing it in a good way. So all the way around, keep it coming.
And before we wrap this up, to that point, one of my coaching clients reminded me. Anyway, she's a very gentle, soft, sweet soul of a coaching client, and she goes, "Man, when I see people hating on those comments that you know on your Instagram, Steve's Instagram, Nick's Instagram about the project," she goes, "It breaks my heart." I had to remind her. I said, "Hey, Moira, don't forget that Gandhi, Jesus, Mother Teresa, there are blogs, there are video YouTube channels dedicated to hating on them. And these were like some amazing humans in world history. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Jesus."
Just those people right now, they'd be vilified on the internet. They'd
Absolutely.
Be horrible human beings.
If they got hate for just wanting to serve humanity, like, who are we to not get hate? Like, anyone who attempts to stand up, what do they say? The nail that stands out gets hammered. I always want to be the nail that stands out, because the more I get hammered, the more resilient and more durable we become. But in terms of the haters, man, like, one, I say keep it coming. But two, I also say I have so much love and compassion for them, because if they actually took my offer and came to the project for free, knowing that if they graduate, like one guy, I told you I troll them, so I'll go into their fucking social media, and I went and looked at his Instagram, and like 2 posts earlier, he had posted about how his mom has cancer. She has breast cancer, and he's hoping that they recover and hoping that the treatment works and all that stuff. So I, like, with compassion, like, wrote a fucking DM to him. I said, "Bro, you're really shitting on the project right now. And however you feel about it, I get it based on what you've heard, what you've seen, or what your own personal experience might be. But if you're willing to come and do the project for free, and when you graduate, I'll give you $18,000 so you can put towards your mom's medical bills, because I saw that post you put, and I got the impression her bills are growing." His response was, "Fuck off," right? Like, that was his response. Yeah. I was like, fuck, man. Like, how hurt do you have to be, and how crippled of a man do you have to be, like emotional cripple, that would be your response. But again, our job isn't to save everybody. It is to save those who want to be saved, and we will continue to do that work.
Those are the best ones in there. When you open up, when you do click on their profile, and it's always a blocked account for the most part. 90% of them are blocked, and the ones that aren't, they'll have like Bible verses up in their fucking thing. And I help men do this and that, but they're a fucking douchebag, and they have a Bible verse, but they're telling me that my kid's gay and they're gonna fucking knock me out when they see me in person. But they're quoting the Bible about peace and love and prosperity, like motherfucker. And
hypocrites at the highest level, man.
To kind of wrap it up is what to do when someone is causing the hate is, and I get the same thing. People who don't know how much I don't give a fuck, they'll be like, oh, how are you dealing with that? In other businesses too. What are you gonna do about this person's talking shit? This person's doing this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the #1 feature that Mark Zanderberg, whatever that little hippie kid from fucking San Francisco did, we created the Facebook. The #1 feature is block and delete, motherfucker. After I do, if I want to respond, I'll respond. If not, it's most of the time it's just block and delete, motherfucker. I'm gonna keep marching on, keep being fucking awesome, keep having dinner with my kids 7 nights a week, keep making fucking tons of money, keep impacting tons of fucking lives, and marching on and being fucking awesome. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's it. Because our job as men is to be a role model to humanity. And the moment that you and I and guys like us decide to become human animals and let our emotions and feelings dictate our actions, we failed humanity. And that's, I see, and I know you feel the same way. I've got a massive responsibility to humanity, not only to myself, to my immediate family, but to also the community and the world that I serve as with you. And I serve the world with you. And no way will we fucking fall apart and have an emotional response to a hater, because that brings us down to their level, and I'll never stoop down to that. Anything else to add?
That's it. We're doing God's work in a strange way.
We are doing God's work. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Modern Day Night Project Show. And of course, we want you to go to the mdkproject.com, apply for the upcoming project class, and we'll talk to you guys next time.